photographing the way I do, but with my colors, this will change everything.
I got to see each frame, each position of its wing, and they are so beautiful that I have never seen before.
Being able to move quickly and working at my brain's pace and getting those shots in the moment. Having this camera allows you to go out and create the way you want to create.
Until you use it, you cannot even imagine what you have missed.
It's something I've never seen before in my entire life. It's something totally different.
Nikon Z6 III. Outperform.
Introducing ISO Color Edge. Precision is essential for any professional working with images. Whether you're an artist, a retoucher, or a visual effects specialist, you need to know that what you see at the start of a project is precisely what you'll get at the end. Color Edge monitors give consistent, reliable accuracy that guarantee no surprises within your color workflow. So what you see in real life is what you see on screen, and what you see on screen is what you see in real life. That's precisely why professionals all over the world trust ISO Color Edge for their image creation. ISO Color Edge. Discover living, breathing color.
I'm Mark Rosetto from the Professional Photography Business Network.
A vibrant community from all around the world who's here to supercharge your business growth.
This is not an expensive one-size-fits-all course.
PPBN is a network, an online educational platform with training and resources to suit everyone,
from those just starting out
to the seasoned pros.
You can tailor your journey to suit your individual business needs and challenges, all at your own pace.
And there's new content added every week. But success is only part of the experience.
To us, community is super important, as we all know business can be lonely.
So join us today. PPBN is your unfair advantage. Let's do this.
Hello and welcome to the judging of the phone category for the 2026 Australian Photographic Prize. I'm Robin Campbell and I'm your panel mentor for this session. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoy seeing some wonderful phone images being judged. I'm here today on behalf of our competition director, Daniel Bingham, our director of judging, Chris Anderson, and behind the scenes we also have Nathan, our broadcast producer, and Mel Sinclair, our scribe. I would like to really thank our sponsors for their amazing contributions to the prize. A massive shout out goes to our major sponsor, Nikon Australia, who are awarding the overall Australian winner, Nikon product valued up to $5,000. How cool is that? Also, thank you to AZO for providing the runner-up for Australia, a Color Edge CS2731 valued at $2,000. Our overall international winner wins 12-month membership to Professional Photographers Business Network valued at $1,000. Thanks so much to PBBN and to Mark. Big shout out. Much appreciated. So we are here to judge the top 30 images in the phone category. So these are images captured using only inbuilt phone cameras. The production rules are classic. External lenses and other attachments are permitted, so long as the phone camera remains the primary image capture device. Relevant classic post-production techniques may be applied using phone or computer software. AI generative tools are forbidden as per the AI tool rule use. So, in today's judging, our expert panel will assess every image, scoring each one out of 100. And then they'll get a comment. And in some cases, there may be a challenge. And this is when we discuss the image in more detail and rescore. When the session is over, the next stage will be closed door judging, and that's where a panel determines the winner from the highest scoring images by secret ballot. Our winner, second place and third place Australian image, along with the winning international image, will be revealed at our live awards ceremony on August 13. In a moment, we'll take you to our judging, but first up, let's have a look at the top 30 images in phone. Take it away, Mel. What a sensational lineup of images. So now I get to introduce you to our judging panel. So they're drawn from Australia and internationally. And what I'm going to do is ask them to say hi and give us a little bit of a bio. So welcome, Craig from New Zealand.
Hi everyone. I'm Craig from Christchurch in New Zealand, and I've been a pet photographer for 25 years. I also run a pet photography education business with my business partner, Charlotte Reeves, who's based in Brisbane. And we've been doing that for 5 years now. And last year, I was the international winner of this category. So I'm very excited to see the work in the judging today.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Craig. Next up, we have Emily from Victoria.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm from Victoria, as Robin has said. I have been in the industry for around 25 years, ranging from photojournalism all the way through to portrait photography, weddings. I've pretty much done it all. Interestingly, I'm really looking forward to this phone category because the best camera is the one that we've got on us. So there's just going to be such a wide variety of images. And I actually won my highest award ever with a phone photo. So you never know what you're going to get, and it's quite amazing. So I'm excited to get into it tonight.
Awesome. I didn't know that, Emily. That's so cool. And you're right. The best camera is definitely the one we have on us. That's a really poignant point. Next up, we have Frances.
Yes, hello. I'm Frances Suter from Brisbane, sunny Queensland, where I run a portrait studio. So we photograph everything around families and pets and kids and corporate, a little bit everything that goes with people and family. I'm also an educator, but I'm also very, very, very passionate about photographing landscapes and a bit of abstract as well. And I never go anywhere without my phone in the pocket. And sometimes when I go for a long hike, sometimes I have to leave some gear behind simply because it's too heavy. But it's just fabulous to have the phone, and it's so much fun to use the phone because you can use it in so many different situations. So I'm really, really looking forward to see what we to judge the phone category tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frances. Next up, we have Lacey.
Yes, hello, thank you. My name is Lacey Barrett and I live in Melbourne, Australia. I have been photographing for over a decade now, and I primarily photograph births and documentary. And one thing that I really love to do is actually take my phone into births and see how far I can push it. So, phones are coming such an incredibly long way. And I'm really, really excited to see all of our entrance images tonight and where all their phones have been. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Lacey. Next up, we've got Matthew.
Hi, Robin. Thank you. I'm from Sydney in Australia, and I am currently approaching 40 years in the industry as a working professional photographer. Started in film and chemistry for over a decade, and now shoot commercial marketing material. And I, like everyone, travel everywhere with my phone and always say, I don't take that many photos in my phone. Hold on, let me just find it. Looking for that last photo that I took. So yes, I think you can see from the run through we had, there's a wide and diverse range of images to look at. So it's very exciting to see what we're going to look at and judge and talk about tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matthew. And now we have the wonderful Vicky. Thanks, Vicky.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vicky. I'm from Melbourne. I've been in the industry a long time as well, since the 80s, so pre-digital. I love fine art, weddings, portraits, but I'm also madly in love with the phone category. And the part of that reason is that part of photography is about the observation, not just the technical skill. And you've really got to observe what's around you if you want to capture something quickly with your phone and make something out of it. So this is a really exciting category. I'm really glad to be here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vicky. All right. So with that, I guess now I get to say we can start our judging. So Mel Sinclair, we'll go to our first image, please. The first 5 judges will be alphabetically Craig, Emily, Francis, Lacey, and Matthew.
Good evening. This image is titled Neon Rain.
And this image has scored a highly commended at 78. Congratulations to the photographer. I'd like to grab a comment if I can. Let's see now. Craig, thank you.
Yeah, I think the moment's been captured really nicely here. To take it a bit further, I think probably a couple of little details in this. Maybe put some more blacks in, so those figures in the front are a bit more silhouetted, and just cropping just slightly off of those edges. It's really nitpicky, but the yellow thing on the left and the little black line on the top right, a bit distracting. So just tighten up your crop, and that would take you up to the next level, I think.
Great feedback. Thank you so much. We'll go to our next image, please.
Okay, this image has no title.
And this image has scored 79, a highly commended. However, We have a challenge from Craig. So Craig is in the silver category. Thanks so much, Craig.
Yeah, I'm at 83, and I think this is worthy of a discussion. I think the color is absolutely fantastic. That central blue just brings those warm tones to life. And just as an architectural image, I find it really successful and very interesting. So I'd love to get this up into the silver range.
Fantastic. Emily, you're sort of solidly in the highly commended range. Would you like to comment?
Yeah, look, I think this sits beautifully in the highly commended range. I'm listening though, Craig, because I initially did want to go higher. I just want something, a little nugget in there to hold me, to draw me in, and be that little cookie that holds me in the image. And I'm a little bit, the reflection or something that's going on in that sort of top part of the image, that bright point is just kind of distracting me. So if we can resolve those, I'm definitely willing to move.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emily. Matt, you're in support. You're also in the silver range.
Yes, I'm in support. I am, and look, to address some of those things, Emily, I think the nugget is actually just the tonal range in this image. So how well it sits together with those really bright highlights, that really deep black, top left, top right, down to the bottom and bottom right, and tonally across all of that with the device that it's been captured on. It really sits together and holds together really well. You've got lovely lines and curves throughout. Yes, that little distraction at the top technically is a little bit of a distraction, but to me it just feels a little bit more sunlight, brings a little bit of reflection, and shows us that this is an organic space that is filled with light.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Matthew. Craig, your right reply.
Yeah, I think the strength in this is exactly what Matthew said. The color is just stunning, and it's clearly got a strong and creative image with that technique being absolutely masterful. For me, that reflection at the top is actually quite nice, and it helps me flow down to that blue window, and then that color is repeated in the bottom. So you know, if it was bright white or blown out or something, then maybe it would be a distraction. But for me, it actually connects the top half and the bottom half of the image together. So yeah, I would love to see this as a silver.
Alrighty, judges, if you could please consider the debate and rescore. And we now have a silver award at 81. Congratulations to the photographer. Very exciting. Go to our next image, please, Mel.
This image is titled Sentinels of the Rise.
And this image has scored a 77, a highly commended. Frances, a comment would be lovely. Thank you very much.
Yes, look, it's I quite enjoy the drama.
Oh, sorry, hang on just one second. Lacey, can I confirm you're good? Yep. Okay, sorry, Frances, back to you.
Good. I enjoy the drama of the scene here. It's a well-seen landscape, and I do like the mood and the atmosphere. Just looking at the tree on the left-hand side, it looks a little bit overworked there in the leaves on the top, and also the dark areas. We kind of lose details a little bit, but all together quite a nicely found dramatic landscape.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frances. With that, we're going to do a quick judge change. So I'm going alphabetically. So Craig, you can have a little break, and we will bring Vicky onto the panel. And we'll go to our next image, please, Mel.
This image is titled The Size of Things, in brackets, Kunyani.
And this image has scored a 77, highly commended. Congratulations to the photographer. I'd love a comment, please. Thanks, Lacey.
Yeah, what an expansive feeling that the photographer has been able to portray in this image. One thing that would really elevate this is to just add a teeny bit of noise in the sky, and that will help with some of the banding that we're seeing. Yeah, great job to the photographer. Really beautiful colors.
Lovely feedback. Thank you so much. Next image, please.
This image is titled Shiny Car Roof Equals Floating City.
And this image has scored an 84 silver award. Congratulations to the photographer. However, we have a challenge from Lacey. Lacey is in our next category, which is silver distinction. Take it away, Lacey.
Yeah. Okay. This title, Shiny Car Equals Floating City. What a well seen image. And what a creative way to be able to portray this from the roof of your car. And where were you that you noticed that, to see that, to then pull your phone out, to then photograph it, and then take the extra couple of seconds or whatever it would take to line that up and crop it in frame and do all of the things that you need to do to be able to get this composition. I think that it shows excellence in composition, in coloring, in post-production. You can't actually even tell that that is a reflection in a car. And if it weren't in the title, I wouldn't have caught it and would have been probably sat scratching my head going, how in the world is this photographing? Like, how is this working? I think that this has been excellently captured and well handled. And I'd really love to see the photographer be rewarded for seeing such a photograph that can be easy to miss, particularly coming from a reflection on the top of your car. So yeah, I'd love to hear from my fellow judges.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lacey. Now, you do have support up there, but I'd like to hear from someone sort of in the sort of silverish range. Vicky, would you have a comment for us, please?
I do. Look, this is really a lovely image. And as a phone image as well, I think that I might have been a little shy in my score for it. I think it's a very intentional composition, and that's one of its strengths. And yeah, I am rethinking it. Thank you for letting us look at it a bit longer, Lacey. That's something that I think it does deserve to be awarded a bit more.
Awesome. You definitely have support. So Emily is also in the silver distinction range. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, I just want to add to everything that Lacey has said. It's a very intentionally cropped image. We're not losing things we shouldn't lose. We're keeping everything we should keep, but it's the tree. It's the dead tree. We've got an organic structure amongst all of this shiny city life. And that's what elevated it for me. It's been so beautifully seen and so well handled. We would not know that this is a phone image, and it's definitely worth commending. I was dancing. I think I was even a bit shy, and I'm up there with you, Lacey. So I'm willing to even jump up a bit higher in that as well. So I think this is well worth extra points.
Awesome. Now we do actually have one more judge who'd like to speak. Matthew, if you'd like to jump in for a quick comment as well.
A quick comment. The thing that I'm looking at in it, I agree with everything that's been said. Captured well, seen well, delivered well. It's just where the focus is falling in the image. The focus is on the reflection and not on the buildings in the background when you do zoom into it and you do jump into it at 100%. That's where I've sat in it and why I'm sitting in that silver range for it. Other than that, I really enjoy the image.
Awesome. All right, Lacey, you've got to write a reply.
Yeah. Look, I think the for me the focus sitting on the front of the car versus the back, it doesn't really bother me too much. I can see how that could be a little bit distracting. But I think that this is a really well captured and handled image. And thank you, Emily, for bringing that up about the organic tree. That was a little nugget that I even missed because I was just so overtaken by how well captured it was. So yeah, I'd really love to see the photographer be able to get just, even a couple of more points. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Judges, if you could please rescore. And we now have a silver with distinction at 86. Congratulations to the photographer. Lots of excited judges in the background. That's lovely. We'll go to our next image, please.
This image is titled Eagle's Nest Dawn.
And this image has scored a 79, a highly commended. I would love a comment if possible. Let's see now. Emily, would you like to give a comment on this one?
Just hit that comment button. Yeah, this has been it's a lovely time of day. You've captured this. It's so evenly lit and beautiful to look at. I would consider just elevating it a little bit. I would consider just changing your angle a little. Maybe do we want to see the structure in the reflection? And there's a bit of heaviness sort of happening down the bottom that's just not quite sitting as nicely for me. A little bit more room around that, or a different crop would have elevated it higher for me, but beautifully seen and makes me feel very calm.
That's wonderful feedback. Thank you so much. We're going to do a quick judge change. Thank you so much, Emily, and we will welcome back Craig. And we'll go to our next image, please.
Okay, the title of this image is Vina or Ria.
Just checking everyone's hit the submit button.
Oh,
thanks, Vicky.
Sorry.
That's all good. This image has scored a silver at 82. Congratulations to the photographer. Fantastic. Yeah, Matt, you're pretty keen for a comment? Oh, hang on. No, wait, before we do that, the little hand for a challenge has come up. All right, Frances, sorry.
Yes, sorry about that. I was a bit late to do that. Just had to find a button anyway.
We'll come back to you, Matt. Thanks, Frances.
I do quite enjoy this, and I put it in the silver distinction range. It really grabbed me. I think technically it's done very well. but we also get drawn in with this beautiful color palette of the yellow and the blue and the red. But also, I just feel like I'm standing there. I nearly get sort of the feeling I get looking at this image. I've got this emotion, I think, in being sort of sucked in through that little hole right into the sky. So purely for this, I put it into the silver distinction range just for the emotion, the feeling I had when I looked at the image. So have another look and just picture yourself in front of it and just see how you feel looking up into that blue sky from where you're standing on the bottom of the building.
Thanks, Frances. Most of our judges are in a pretty close scoring range. Matthew, you're pretty keen to have a chat?
Yeah, sorry, I had hit my comment button earlier for you. Look, Francis, I agree. It's beautifully captured. It's wonderfully handled. Look, the dynamic range that's in this out of in the category that we're looking at is fantastic. Looking at it, it's just the balance of it. I feel like the right side is a little too heavy in the image, and if you even up those circles in there, take a little bit of that distraction of that yellow piping and things are out away from that right hand side, it'd elevate the image a lot higher.
Thanks, Matthew. Vicky, you're also keen to make a comment?
Yeah, I agree. What I was going to say is what Matthew said. It's very heavy off to the top right. And that for me was distracting from this lovely mass and tangle of beautiful metallic things. And I do like that bit of a staircase to heaven, as Francis said, but still just that bit too heavy on the right for me to bring it up to the next level.
All right. Lacey, your keen quick comment. Thanks.
Yeah, just really quick about the right side. The more I kind of sit with this image and look at it, it's like all these little tentacles that are kind of coming down in the center. And the one on the right is the one that's about to grab you and then kind of pull you up into the center. And yeah, just kind of something, perhaps a different way to take a look at it. That's how I felt. And I just wanted to share that. So.
Awesome. Loving the sci-fi perspective. Very cool. Frances, your right to reply.
Thank you, Lacey. I just wanted to say that. I'm just putting myself back into that situation, and I don't mind that right-hand side at all because I feel I'm also little spider legs, you know? And I can feel this right leg sort of just coming down and grabbing me and pulling me up towards that sort of space into the sky. So I do enjoy the drama of that right-hand side because if it would be even and if it wouldn't be there, it would be possibly more like a simple architectural shot, but with that extra arm on the right frightening me, I think there is a lot, there's a strong narrative in this image. So I'd just like you to have another look and just bring it up a few points to bring into the silver distinction range.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frances. Judges, you can rescore. Lacey, yep, there we go. Oh no, Lacey, you get your submit button set.
I think Lacey's lost internet. We might want to just bring Emily onto the panel and have Emily score on Lacey's behalf.
Yep, no worries at all. Emily, would you mind just jumping on board just for one moment for this rescore?
Emily, Lacey's original score was 82.
Lovely. It's so nice to have such a responsive system straight away. We're good. And we have a silver with distinction. Congratulations to the photographer. And yeah, 85, 85, 85, 84, 83. That's a good all-round score. Well done. We'll go to our next image, please.
Okay, the title of this image is Valencia, Spain.
And this image has scored a silver at 82. Well done to the photographer. Again, very, very close scoring range. However, let's see now. We all happy with that? Oh, look at that. We've got a challenge. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vicky. Yeah, take it away.
Sorry, it took me a minute to find the button. I think that the excellence in the narrative here is what really deserves to be looked at. We've got this picture of these people working for nothing, and they've said it's in Spain, and here we have somebody on the latest skateboard with the latest gear zooming past, not noticing what's happening in their world for them to be able to be in that position. And even in the background, we've got a crane building new buildings, there's things happening, but who's building this? All of this is being built on the back of the labour of poor people. And I think that's come through in just one image. I think it's just captured really well. So I'd like people to have another look at the narrative, have another look at the way it's been presented, and see what they can do.
Thanks so much, Vicky. We've got a couple of photographers in support. I just wouldn't mind someone, perhaps Matthew, if you've got a comment to make. You're at the lower end of the scale. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I am at the lower end of the scale, and look, it's a fabulous capture. It's seen really well. The photographer has stood and waited and observed were the right figure coming past them and captured them in their flight. I just feel like that little left-hand side, that green and white strip down there, just feels like it's distracting on that left-hand side. That if that piece is eliminated, tighten that up, lose a tiny little bit more of the sky, so we're down into the center of the image.
Fantastic. Emily, you're solidly in the silver range.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we're talking about it, because this is classic photojournalism. This is classic scene, moment, and social commentary, and it's been captured beautifully. I want to address that left-hand side of the image, Matthew, because that's what I love about it, because it halts us, it stops us, and it brings us right back into where we need to be, watching the movement happening through the frame. But the colors, it's just balanced so beautifully as well. And we've got that red graffiti behind the person almost pulling a face at, you know, the construct of what's actually happening, you know, like we're getting so much little bits of magic happening through this image. And I'm definitely moving up. I think it's a really, not just a well seen image, but the whole tonality and marrying of colors, and we're not getting things we don't need. It's just been executed so well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Emily. All right, Vicky, write a reply. Sounds like you've got some support there.
It does. Thank you. Matthew, I also love that green bit. That's sort of coming into the modern world. That's where we're going. That's where we're heading. It's kind of like a bit of a frame to take us out of reality, which is what the picture's about, and back into the world where we don't want to see anything. So I thank you, Emily, for describing that really well. And also, Gold with Distinction, it wants a strong concept and an elevated execution and originality. I think it's got all of that, but especially the emotional resonance. So I think it ticks all the boxes for a silver with distinction, at least.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vicky. Judges, if you could please rescore. And this image has scored an 85, silver with distinction. Congratulations to the photographer, and thank you, judges, for such a hearty debate. It was lovely to listen to and very educational for everyone tuning in as well. We'll go to our next image. Thank you.
This image is titled Gordon Dam, Deep in the Mist and Rain.
Thanks, Vicky. This image has scored a silver at 80 and very, very close scoring range. Yeah, Craig, I would love a comment. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think this is a really great image. The leading line in there to the dam, I think, is fantastic. The almost kind of HDR look, the drama in it, I think are all excellent. There is some trouble happening in the sky with some banding and stuff visible there. So as one of my fellow judges said earlier, adding some noise up there to just eliminate some of that would be very useful. And I do think it's a little bit on the crooked side. If you look at the level of the water, it's kind of tipping. So an anti-clockwise rotation slightly would straighten up that water level there. So a couple of things to fix up.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Craig. We'll go to our next image, Mel.
This image is titled Portrait of Elle.
Alrighty, so we have quite a large range of scores here, but a silver at 81. Well done to the photographer. But it doesn't end there. We have a challenge. Vicky, you are currently on 87. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I'm looking at the narrative. I'm looking at the story, and I think this is exceptionally well done. This, to me, is a story of years of hard work, years of wear and tear on the body, on the feet, and it's all presented in one small area with these worn-out shoes. And I think that is just a beautiful story. It's simple, effective. The colours are perfect. I really think that you should have another look, go back, see if you can see the story, and come up to, I think a silver with distinction is fair for the amount of thought and effort and work that's gone into this.
Thank you, Vicky. Frances, you're at the other end of the scale. Thank you.
Yes, I do agree, Vicky. It is definitely a very strong narrative. You can see the sweat, you can see the hard work, you can see what's been going on. I do really enjoy the color palette. For me, it was just a little bit too scattered. I do not know where to rest my eyes. I found that extra touch, just an extra touch, something that gives me a little bit more information about the story of this person. That would have been just bringing it to the next range. But I'm listening because I've been, yeah, I'm listening. So yes.
Thank you so much, Frances. Craig, you're solidly in the silver.
Yeah, thanks, Vicky. Because I gave this 83 for the composition, the textures and tones in this. I think are really wonderful, but I'm missing. I didn't know what it is. So you say they're shoes, and now I'm thinking, oh, maybe they're like some ballet shoes or something. I don't know. But if I can get a bit more of an understanding about that narrative, then I would happily go up, because as a visual, I'm really, really enjoying this. So yeah.
Thanks, Craig. All right, Vicky, you're right to reply.
Oh, thanks. Frances, I don't think you need to rest your eyes in this, because what it is a story of hard work, of non-stop hard work. And Craig, to answer you, I think they're ballet shoes. I could be wrong. There are some sort of sporting clothing. I think they're ballet shoes. And I think the story is their blood, sweat and tears of perfecting their craft. So yeah, thank you for having another look at it. And again, I think it's worth a silver with distinction for all of those reasons.
Thank you, Vicky. Judges, if you could please rescore. And it has moved. It is a solid silver at 83. Well done to the photographer. Fantastic. We're going to do a quick judge change. We'll welcome Lacey back, and thanks, Matt. You can have a little bit of a break. And we'll go to our next image, please.
This image is titled Convergence.
This image has scored an 83 silver award. Well done to the photographer. However, we have two judges wishing to challenge. I'm going to take the highest one, Craig. Thanks, Craig.
Awesome. I'm not alone in my silver with distinction at 88, and I'm very excited to talk about this. Well, first of all, I think we've got next year's background for the APP judges sorted. But just the gradient and the tonal range in this is absolutely gorgeous. It feels kind of sensual, and for such a lifeless thing, it's just so alive. I really enjoy it. I think visually it's really stunning. And yeah, I'd love to see this in the distinction range.
Awesome. We've got a range of scores, but yeah, Emily, I'd love to hear from you. That would be great.
Yeah, I was solidly in the silver. I gave it 83. I feel that movement. I feel that sensuality. I feel, it makes me want to dance. It makes me want to move with it. It was just the only reason I didn't go higher is just those highlights on that top right. It just pulls me out a little too abruptly. If that was cropped into more of a panorama, man, I'd be even higher for sure. So if we can resolve that a little, I'm right there with you.
Awesome. Frances, you want to make a quick comment as well?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, the beautiful shapes, texture, and the divine tones are stunning. I just found the same, just the highlights on the top right, but also on the left hand side. It's falling off there a little bit in the darker areas, but also in the sharpness. So that took it off for me a little bit. But I'm listening, and yeah.
Awesome. Lacey, you are very much in support as well, also wanting to challenge. You're in silver distinction.
Yeah. So what really did it for me was the story convergence. So if you take a look at this, it looks like, I don't know if this is a building or a sculpture or what the actual object is, but it looks like it's multiple sections, and that the photographer has actually positioned themselves in a way that it looks like one big seamless structure. And I think that is what the convergence is, because if you look to the left, you've got the darker, and then as it goes to the right, the blue, you can see that there's quite a stark line there, and the lines are a little bit different and skewed, and they don't actually match all the way. And the further you get over to the right, the more sharpness we lose, the more color we lose, the more blown out it gets. And I think that that is part of the story and the convergence that we're seeing here. And one of the reasons why I'm in that kind of gold distinction, foretelling, in that silver distinction of just being able to see that and capture that on a mobile phone is really, really impressive. And then to be able to hold that tonality with the left side of whatever this structure is being so in focus, and the right of it kind of losing that structure and that movement. Thanks, Craig.
Awesome. Loving your optimism there, Lacey. Craig, right of reply.
Yeah, well, Lacey's going up to gold with distinction, so I challenge you guys to go up with her. Look, I think that there has been a compromise that had to be made here. And I'm at 88 because of those blown highlights. If it wasn't for those, I would be well up there with Lacey. But if we didn't have those blown highlights, we would have sacrificed the right-hand side of the image entirely. So for me, it's completely justified. And yes, perhaps coming into a panoramic crop, but then you'd have lost some of that sharp kind of bright kind of purpley bluish stuff. And well, you know, I'm not one that would want to see more purple removed. So I think that sacrifice has been very intentionally done. Emily, you spoke about it making you feel, it making you want to dance. That is what we're talking about when we get into these distinction ranges and higher. So I think that just go with your heart on this and let some of that technical stuff go, and reward it for that motion and that sensuality and the beauty that's presented.
Thanks, Craig. Judges, please rescore. And we now have a silver with distinction at 86. Congratulations to the photographer and fabulous debate judges. Thank you very much. Very entertaining as well. And yes, more purple the better. Next image, please.
The title of this image is Moving Day.
Alrighty, so this image has scored a silver at 84. However, oh, I love seeing a judge this excited. Emily Black, you are on 93 Gold Award. I am so looking forward to this. Take a deep breath. Let's go. Thank you, Emily.
When we talk about, when we talk about heart of an image, and when we see an image and it speaks to us and visibly shakes us and moves us, that's what takes me right up into this gold range, right? Oh, you can hear me quavering. Okay, moving day. We've got an old object. We've got dust on the floor. We've got marks on that wall. We've got life lived. We've, you know, we're going to read our own stories into this, but this is a family. The worn out bits on the chair, like this is a loved chair, this is a loved home, this is a heartbreaking moment that has been, the light coming through. The story that is in the minimalism of this really, really speaks volumes. The longer I sit with this, pun intended, the chair, the more convicted I am in the score that I've given. And there's a few little technical elements, but this has been captured on a phone. This has been captured in a moment. This is probably a family going through that moving process of an elderly person in their family, someone that they love, and they're having to choose what they take, what they leave, where they're going. This, it's gold.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Emily. I would love to hear from someone at the other end of the scale. So perhaps Lacey, if you've got a comment.
Yeah. The more I sit with this, as soon as Emily challenged it and she started to open her mouth, I went, oh, like she didn't even say anything. And I went, oh, I see the story. And I missed it, and I'm really sorry. And I'm really glad that this has been challenged, because I see everything that's going on. One of the things that actually kept me so low was the positioning of where the camera is. I just feel like that one couple of centimeter steps to the right to line up in such a quiet moment, when photographing something as powerful as this, I felt like just a couple centimeters to the right would have helped elevate this to kind of bring that chair into more of a squared position. Again, that's probably a bit of pedantics, but when you look at the grand scheme of the story that's going on here, so I'm definitely listening, I see that story.
Alrighty. So Frances, you're currently in silver distinction?
Yes, I'm in silver distinction, and I think I was a bit harsh and just listening to Emily, but I saw all these points as well. The narrative is just so strong in this image. It tells us all. It tells us about the life of this person who lived in this room, and particularly I enjoy that little pattern underneath the chair on the left-hand side. My interpretation of that is it's actually like a pattern that could have been in that curtain, that window, the curtain probably taken down. But I do relate that back to a curtain that had pattern, these older style curtains with patterns, and it really just sums the image up. And just I do agree. It's just such a perfectly well composed. The composition of the image really goes well in place with the narrative. It just all works together. The material on the chair, the little pattern underneath the chair, the dust, everything just falls in place. It's just a fabulous image. I think we should all have another look, and really, rather than looking at a couple of details that might be a little bit lighter, so we just need to judge this image purely from our emotions.
Thank you, Frances. Yeah, look, until you've moved a parent out of a home, I think, it may not be easy to relate to this moment, but once you have moved a parent out of a home, there's certainly some heartstrings that are being pulled. Craig, you're keen for a super quick comment.
Yeah, I really just wanted to quickly speak in support of this, because I think I missed a little bit of that emotion. I was getting the technicals, letting them get the better of me. But just what Lacey said about the placement of the chair, and the more I sit with that, the more I feel like, you've got the emotion, we get the story. That's the chaos of moving day. The way that the light is falling so differently on different parts, for me, that's kind of like the chaos. So you've got the emotion of moving somebody out, and then that's the chaos of the actual physically, this is what we have to do. So yeah, I'm definitely coming up.
All righty, Emily, your right of reply.
Well, I think you've all talked yourselves up in that as well, but I will make the note that we've got golden light, golden years. There's a few technical components that could have been fixed if it wasn't a camera. And Craig has answered my point of the chaos of moving and just things being just that little bit off, that it's just that enough uncomfortable. So come up, please.
Alrighty, judges, I believe Emily is asking for a golden moment. And we have a gold award at 91. Our hearts are full. Congratulations to the photographer. Thank you so much, judges, for working together as a team, listening as a team, and taking all the comments on board. Amazing. We're going to do a quick judge change. Emily, thank you for all of your hard work and jumping in so quickly when we needed you. And we welcome back Matthew to the panel. And we will go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is Primary Infrastructure.
Thank you, judges. This image has scored a 79, highly commended. However, we have a challenge from Matthew, who is on 84. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Robin. Yes, look, these again are things that we walk past day in, day out. And for some people, in some people's eyes, these patterns, these shadows, these shapes, these colors and elements put together make a picture. And when you're looking at all of these things, they are making all that wonderful picture. We have pretty much straight lines in those bricks, straight lines in those shadows. This odd element at the front asking us to be aware, stay out, or keep out from it. Yet that's adding to the story of whatever these valves and pipes and things are behind, the balance of it. We've got the perfect rule of thirds, that lovely cone on that right hand side coming down that, the pipes and the blue in that bottom third. It really is deserving of the photographer to at least come up into the silver range. We've only got 1 point to get there.
Alrighty, Lacey, you're in the highly commended range.
Yeah, I am. This is a really well composed and seen image, and it's been captured really well, particularly with the highlights. They've been really well handled. I am in that highly commended range because I actually wondered about the information at the top if it's actually necessary, and I'd really love to know how that adds to that story because I'm so drawn to the center and the bottom of it. I actually wonder if we need that and could just crop that as a panoramic. So I'd really love to hear about that and how that is kind of contributing to that story.
Craig, you're also in support on silver.
Yeah, I'm at 81. I definitely think this is worthy of a silver. I guess part of what got me there was that when you read the title, I just chuckled to myself because I just immediately thought, oh yeah, the yellow tape is definitely primary infrastructure, and that just added a little element of humor. I really like that top part, Lacey, and the shadows there, that diagonal shadow from the beam attached to the pole directly going down to the bollard thing. I don't know. I don't know what these things are called, but the orange and white thing. I think that that helps to lead your eye around the composition. So yeah, I'm in support. I think this is a silver for sure.
Awesome. I think bollard works nicely. Matthew, write a reply.
Yes, it is bollard, Craig. That's what they are referred to. And yes, that top, I think if we cropped that top off and brought it into a panoramic, then we'd be discussing the fact that there's this odd shadow coming into the top of the frame and what's that shadow connected to. There's a very purposeful crop, and we've been given all of the information in this picture, and it's been delivered to us perfectly. So I really do think that it just needs that 1 point from us to bring it up into that silver range and award the photographer.
Awesome. Judges, if you could please rescore. And we now have a silver award at 81. Well done to the photographer. We'll get our next image, please.
This image is titled The Flood.
And this image has scored an 80, silver award. Well done to the photographer. Well, our judges are in a very, very close scoring range, all within a couple of points of that score. I'd love a quick comment if that's okay. Vicky, thank you.
Beautifully done image. It has mood and it has depth and mystery, and all of that just takes you right into it, lets your eye flow around it. I think the only thing that drew back for me was that line directly down the 1/3, and I know it's a part of what was there, but it's the only distracting part for me. So well done to the photographer.
Fabulous. We'll have a next image, please.
The title of this image is Sold Out.
Thank you, judges. This image has scored a 81 silver award. Well done. Congratulations to the photographer. Very exciting indeed. I would love a comment, please. Let's see. Frances, you're right on the average.
Yes, look, it's a very, there is a lot of humor in this image. I do think the photographer has done an absolutely awesome job of that, finding this object in this environment. The color palette works really well together. I like how it's cropped, and the reflection, not seeing the whole trolley in the water is great. Probably just to improve it a little bit, to bring it in a higher range. The foreground is just a little bit muddy there in the foreground. So maybe if we could sharpen that a little bit, and bring the textures out a little bit more, and the contrast just a little bit, that would probably be good for the image. Yes.
Sensational. Thank you so much, Frances. So we're actually going to go for a quick little commercial break. Those of you who are tuned in cannot possibly leave your screens. It's so exciting. You now get a couple of minutes to watch some commercials. So do not leave your screen at the moment either. We'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
Wow, photographing the way I do, but with my colors, this will change everything.
I got to see each frame, each position of its wing, and they're so beautiful that I have never seen before.
Being able to move quickly and working at my brain's pace and getting those shots in the moment. Having this camera allows you to go out and create the way you want to create.
Until you use it, you cannot even imagine what you have missed.
It's something I've never seen before in my entire life. It's something totally different.
Nikon Z6 III. Outperform.
Introducing ISO Color Edge. Precision is essential for any professional working with images. Whether you're an artist, a retoucher, or a visual effects specialist, you need to know that what you see at the start of a project is precisely what you'll get at the end. Color Edge monitors give consistent, reliable accuracy that guarantee no surprises within your color workflow. So what you see in real life is what you see on screen, and what you see on screen is what you see in real life. That's precisely why professionals all over the world trust ISO Color Edge for their image creation. ISO Color Edge. Discover living, breathing color.
I'm Mark Rizzetto from the Professional Photography Business Network.
A vibrant community from all around the world who's here to supercharge your business growth.
This is not an expensive one-size-fits-all course.
PPBN is a network, an online educational platform with training and resources to suit everyone.
From those just starting out to the seasoned pros.
You can tailor your journey to suit your individual business needs and challenges, all at your own pace.
And there's new content added every week. But success is only part of the experience.
To us, community is super important, as we all know business can be lonely.
So join us today. PPBN is your unfair advantage. Let's do this.
And welcome back to the phone category. We now get to go to our very next image, please, for judging.
This image has no title.
Alrighty then. This image has scored a silver with distinction at 86. However, we have a very enthusiastic challenge. We have Matthew sitting on a 91 gold. All right, Matthew, I would love to hear what you've got to say.
Okay, I'm going to start with the description of gold. Outstanding image showing excellence in concept, craft, and impact, confidently original or emotionally powerful with few, if any, distractions. First off, I can't find a distraction. I'm looking for a distraction. But going to the image itself, like you almost cannot tell which is the reflection and which is the shot. That fantastic diagonal, that dark diagonal line through the center that bisects it, but also brings the two sides together. The choice of turning this into a black and white is fantastic. It brings us into the tone, the contrast, and the depth in this image that's been created, and the texture in all of the different layers of materials and things in the image. It's definitely worthy of a gold image.
Awesome. So at the other end of the scale, we have Lacey.
Yeah, this image absolutely has impact. And I keep looking at it, trying to untangle it because it feels all very tangled together. And I love that. What's kept me in the really strong silver, because I really wanted to go up, is, and I don't know if this is me or a perception. Matthew, maybe you could speak to this, but I think the handling of the file in the post processing is what was holding me into that kind of silver range, not going up into that gold. I think that the black and white conversion is beautiful. But again, I don't know if this is a reflection or if it's the losing of some of the tones in the blacks, particularly on the bottom right. Yeah, I would love to have you speak to that for me.
Yeah, great. Emily, you're also in support. You're very solidly in the silver distinction range.
Yeah, and I'm right with you, Matthew. I was shy. I will be coming up for all of the reasons that you have stated what a gold image actually is. I was initially held back. I want to speak to what Lacey was talking about. It's a graphic image, right? So the blacks are going to be black. The lights are going to be light, but we've got tonality in it. We've got questions. We've got, we dance, like we sort of move abruptly through this image, but we can kind of settle in places for a minute. The choice to use the reflection in that top left, where it's blacker and heavier, where we would normally want to put that in the bottom of an image, it's just been, it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, more uncomfortable on the jagged lines and shapes. So I think it's definitely worth gold for the graphic element of this. Yeah, I'm coming up.
Awesome. All right, quick comment, Craig, before we go back to Matthew.
Yeah, just I love that fluidity that we've got in that top left. I was at 87 and I'm coming up too. The reason I was held there was because of what looked like that kind of bright edging around the buildings. And then I'm just kind of deciphered that as I've been sitting here, and it is the sun behind the building kind of backlighting it. So I'm good with that now, and I'm coming up to gold.
Awesome, Craig. I did the same thing. All right, Matthew, write a reply.
Yes, thank you. Not too much to say. The only thing that I will talk about is at the moment taking new students into darkroom and printing black and white images with them. The first things we are asking for them to achieve is a black, and a white, and the tonal range in between. And this image has a black, and a white, and the entire tonal range in between. It's incredibly successful and is deserved of a gold award.
Awesome. Judges, if you could please rescore, and if the entrant can consider working in critiquing monotone images in the future, you would be well received. Contact Matt. And we now have a gold at 91. Congratulations to the photographer. Sensational. It's a wonderful debate. Thank you so much. Alrighty, and we're going to go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is Stairway to Heaven.
And this image has scored an 87, a silver with distinction. And we have a challenge from Craig. Awesome. Thank you so much, Craig.
Yeah, I'm on 92. And look, I don't know about a Stairway to Heaven, but I think this definitely makes me want to dance. There is so much life and movement in this. And the composition is just swirling and flowing around. And that kind of dark graphic in the moment in the middle makes it look like a musical note. And I just absolutely love how my eye is flowing through this. So I'd love to have a chat about it and get this a few more points.
Yeah, absolutely. Lacey, you're on the lower end. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I've just realized we have a Fibonacci in a Fibonacci as well. Yeah, no, thank you, Craig. I'm glad that you've challenged us and stopped and made me look at it a little bit longer. So, yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Emily.
I just wanted to point the organicness of the image as well in such a man-made environment and the tonality of that, which lends further to that. I was a little shy, and I'm so glad that it's been challenged.
Awesome, Craig. It sounds like you might have already convinced a few people to move. What's your closing remarks?
I think so. We don't have too much work to do here, I don't think. Yeah, the organic nature of this for a man-made structure, Emily, I think is superb. So let's dance with our fingers up into the 90s.
Alrighty, judges, please rescore. And we now have a gold award at 90. Congratulations to the photographer. Very exciting. Alrighty, we'll go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is In the Spotlight.
And this image has scored a highly commended at 79. However, we have two people challenging. I'm going to take the highest one. Vicky, thank you so much.
This is such a simple, seemingly simple photograph, but it is just poetic. He's in the spotlight, he's aged, he's serious, he's got a little bit of Ziggy Stardust, Z Thunderbolt going on there, and he's just not the main image, he's just that little part of it. He is part of the whole show in the spotlight, but just one small part of it. I think it's done beautifully. It's so beautifully balanced that it gives me a great story.
Fantastic. Alrighty, so we've got a big range of scores here. Craig, you're not so sure.
Yeah, I'm with you in spirit, I guess, Vicky, but in my head, I'm struggling a bit. I think that the composition is quite interesting, but I really, really wish that it had come down a little bit more. So we got the full guitar at the very least in the frame. And then just the lines and the breakdown and image quality and the motion blur, I think it is, that's in his face. I think he's fairly well focused, but there's probably there's some motion blur or something going on there. I just don't feel quite as in this moment as you do, but I can see where you're coming from, and I'm definitely listening. So maybe if you can address some of that, then I'd be happy to move my score.
No worries. Emily, you are definitely into it. You've given it a silver.
Yeah, I think to speak to what Craig was just saying, I think it's been cropped. It's an image that's been cropped probably a little tighter, so we've lost a little bit of that clarity and detail. But that doesn't pull away from me, because what I see is a newsprint image of, like it's executed well. It's definitely higher than highly commended, because we've got the strong creative image, we've got the clear lights coming down, framing the image beautifully. It's been seen and it's been captured. And I think it's, it is a sound technique. It has been executed beautifully. And I can see past that tight crop, because of all of that negative space holding us around there. It doesn't really pull us out of the frame too much, I'm finding. We can see the full element there. Yeah.
Awesome. Vicky, write a reply.
Thanks, Emily. I think it is a beautiful use of negative space as well. Craig, it is blurry a little bit. It's gritty, it's rock and roll, and I like that. And him being down there and the guitar sort of out of the frame, to me, it's a part of the story. He's disappearing. He's aging. He's had a wonderful life. He's done his show, but he's disappearing down out of the frame as we watch him. And I think that's a really powerful story. So please think about it, guys. I think that this has been really thought out well, snapped on the phone, and they've delivered what I would expect from a silver with distinction.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. If you could please rescore. And we now have a silver award at 81. Congratulations to the photographer. And we'll do a quick judge change. Thanks, Matthew. You can have a little break, and we will welcome back Francis. Go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is Infinite Geometry.
And we have an 80 silver award. Congratulations to the photographer. Very close scoring range. And I'd love a comment. Thank you so much, Craig.
Yeah, congratulations. I think this is a really graphic image. I think you've seen it well. And I think just to get you a few more points on this, fixing up that perspective distortion and making sure that your horizontal and vertical lines are all level would absolutely do the trick there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll go to our next image, please, Mel.
This image has no title.
Alrighty then, we have a silver with distinction at 85, and we have a challenge. Thank you, Lacey. You are on 91. Take it away.
Yeah, this is so intriguing, and I keep going around in circles and circles and circles and trying to comprehend what it is that I'm looking at. And then I finally reached a point where I don't think that I have to understand what I'm actually looking at. And when I released the idea of trying to make sense of what this was, I began to look at everything in sections and looking at it by its color and, the dripping and the texture and the colors and how all the tonal ranges are marrying together, but there's still pops of color towards the bottom with the yellow and the red. And it looks like there might be some sort of a reflection, and you see little bits of blue circles. I don't even know. It's incredible. I don't know where this person is standing. I don't know if this is a top down, if this is directly shot from the side, if this is a building, but I am so drawn in that I just want to keep looking. And the more I look at it, the more I am sucked in. And I think that this is incredibly well seen to such a high level, that which is gold, particularly with the composition, the colors, like everything about this has been intentionally created and co-created together, like within millimeters of each other. So I'd really encourage you guys to just have another look and tell me what you think.
All right, Frances, you're not so sure. You're on still highly commended range.
Yes, look, I wasn't quite so sure. However, I have to say it is a very intriguing image. I think the photographer has found an absolutely fantastic subject with so much interest and so many details to look at. I love the tonal ranges and the texture, and then the soft shapes on the bottom that put in contrast what's above it, that sort of block of concrete. I just found I put it in the sense in the highly commended, mainly because I thought this image would live very much from the perspectives and from the lines, and correcting the perspectives would probably add to this image. And I don't know, if I'm listening, I'm listening. I just found it found it a little bit unbalanced altogether.
Alrighty, Craig, you're also in support. You're very high in the silver distinction range.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is about this image, but I had such an immediate reaction to this. And for some reason, it just makes me feel really sad. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is, if it's the starkness, if it's like the concrete that's wet and drippy, like representing literal tears. I don't know what it is, but I feel something very strong looking at this one. So I was in support of this at 88, and I'm glad that you challenged Lacey. I'm definitely prepared to come up. I think that we need, to feel this and not try and analyze what actually we are looking at, and just go with the emotion of it.
Thanks, Craig. All right, Emily, super quick comment. What have you got?
Okay, it's dystopian, it's futuristic, it's, pew, pew, pew. We've got the lines of like laser beams shooting at us, but we've also got the author in the photo, that little circly orangey bit right in the center there. That is the device that has captured it all. We're looking into the future, guys, and it makes us sad.
Awesome. Love the conciseness. All right, pew, pew, pew. Over to you, Lacey.
Yeah, thanks. I don't really have too much more to add. Sit with it. I think it makes us feel discomfort. And we want gold images to make us feel something. And I think that this has definitely done that. So.
Awesome. Judges, if you could please rescore. And we have a gold at 90. Congratulations to the photographer. The beautiful thing about having so many wonderful judges on our panel is we all see things from different perspectives. So thank you so much for sharing that. We'll go to our next image, please, Mel.
The title of this image is Light's Edge.
This image has scored a silver at 81. And Craig, you have a comment to make. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the tonal range through this, and that light hitting the wall and giving us all of that texture, I think is fantastic. I think a really simple crop on this would improve it quite dramatically. That left-hand side with that shadowed piece of wall on that extreme, I think just simplify the image to the curve, and that would strengthen it.
Thank you so much, Craig. Next image, please.
This image is titled Horn of Mount Buffalo.
And this image has scored a 76, highly commended. Well done to the photographer. I'll grab a quick comment, please. Lacey.
Yeah, we've got some really beautiful colors going on throughout this image, and I love the blue and the green playing off of each other. Perhaps maybe bringing down some of the intensity of those blues and greens would elevate this and kind of bring that color palette together really, really nicely. So well done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lacey. We'll go to our next image, please.
This image has no title.
And this image has scored a silver at 84. Very solid silver. However, we have a challenge. One of our wonderful judges, Lacey, is in gold. Alrighty, take it away, Lacey.
We have such, gosh, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so we have this old home. I don't know if it's being remodeled or if it's an abandoned home, but we have this skylight up at the top, and that sun is coming through that skylight, and that dog is sitting perfectly in the light of where that is shining. And it's almost as if that is the only place that he is allowed in this light-filled area of this house. Everything else is dark. And there's just that little bit of sunlight peeking through that is giving this pup a little bit of solace in the darkness that is kind of surrounding him. And then the other thing that is complementing that so much for me is the only pop of color is in that back left-hand corner where we see that greenery through that window. It is the only sort of joy or excitement that is kind of peering through that window, and the pup doesn't even see it. He's not even facing it. And so, yeah, there's just a lot going on. It's really well handled. I think for being a phone image, to be able to capture that and the timing of that, to have that pup sitting there at that particular moment. Yeah, I'm up here in gold. I really encourage you guys to have a look and perhaps come up silver distinction, and if you're feeling it, gold as well.
Alrighty, Emily, not so sure.
Yeah, and I am willing to move a little on this. I think maybe I was a little bit held back from the constraints of a phone. There's just elements in there where we've lost so much detail in those highlights on the pup, and the overall image. But then the more I'm sitting with that, the more I'm seeing this as a painting, a really thought. It is almost like that light, that shaft of light, and this almost regalness to it that is actually bringing me up, and the little story that's been seen there. And thank you for pointing out the organic nature outside, the joy that is outside, and the joy that is in that little shaft of the connection to the outdoors. So I'm willing to move, but there's just a few of the technical components that were kind of sort of pulling me back.
Thanks, Emily. All right, lots of people want to talk. I'm going to go to Vicky next.
Thank you. Emily, I think you're right. This is painterly, and I think what it is like a modern version. Here we are renovating this old home, and we've got this old dog, and the one familiar place is that warm patch of sun that comes through and shines, and that's all he can recognise of what they're doing to his old home. I think it's deeply evocative. I think it's very clever. I love the grain. Some slight technical things don't bother me if there is such a strong story. And I really think that this has achieved that. And I'm going to come up there with Lacey. I'm going up to gold.
Alrighty. Craig, you're keen to say something?
I feel the story. I really love the composition of this. It really resonates with me. This is not dissimilar to my life right now, and I have two very disgruntled dogs fighting for spots in the sunlight, and feeling very displaced at the moment. I guess, yeah, same as some others have said. The technicals have let me down. The biggest thing that lets me down really is the detail on the dog itself. I scored at 83, and I've definitely been shy. I will come up. I'm not sure if I'm at gold yet, but yeah, I love that kind of nostalgic, grainy, vintage tone through there as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Lacey, right of reply.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at. I hear what everyone is saying about the quality of some of the technical things, but I actually thought that was intentional post processing that was done to the file after the fact, because there are some highlights that are being lost on the dog, but if you actually look in the patch of light, it's not that sort of fine art painterly feel on the floor, whereas it's much more painterly around the rest of the image. And if you look around where the greenery is out of the window, it also doesn't feel like that sort of painterly feel there as well. And so I actually took that as a very intentional choice in the post-processing to provoke that sort of emotion of what we're all talking about, which is sort of being held in that liminal space of like discomfort but joy being just like right there. It's so close that we can touch it. So yeah, I'd really love to see you guys come up to gold with me.
All right, judges, if you could please rescore. Oh, we have a very, very strong silver distinction at 89, almost there. Well done. Fantastic debate. All righty, Craig, you can have a little break. You've been on there for a long time. Well, welcome back, Matthew. And we're going to go to our next image, please.
This image has no title.
All good, Emily? Yep, cool. Alrighty, so this image has scored fairly hefty silver distinction at 88, which is very impressive. However, we have a challenge. Emily, sensational. Yep, took a while to get that number in. I could see you were thinking long and hard about what you're about to say. Go for it.
Yeah, I actually can't fault the image. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe even I was shy. Okay, we've talked about, what a gold is, right? So it's an outstanding image. It's an excellent concept. It's got the craft. We've got the blacks are black, the whites are white. We've got this beautiful reflection happening. Everything that's in the frame needs to be in the frame to hold us there, and nothing is there that doesn't need to be there. It's a beautiful, minimal, architectural masterpiece. Like this is stunning, and I'm really trying to figure out why you guys didn't go up there. I've got someone up there with me, so I reckon it's not going to be hard work to get up into that gold at least, guys.
That we do, yep. But I'd like to hear from someone else, perhaps Frances. Yeah, lovely, thank you.
Yes, Emily, I actually agree with you. Absolutely. I think I was a bit harsh, and I will come up with you. And the more I look at it, actually, all the lines just really draw me in. They're just in a perfect, the composition of that image is outstanding. It is just right. It works. And particularly I enjoy the two top black lines that actually bring my focus back on the person in the first right hand corner, in the first right of the image, in the black. Well, there's only one person anyway. So the person in the black clothing, and also the way he walks, or she, the person, it's just actually perfect. The composition, the pose of the arms, the legs, it just all works together. So I will come up.
Alrighty, Vicky, you have something to say as well.
I absolutely love this. I'm the one who's up there with Emily, 91. I should have actually gone gold with distinction. There is not one line in this that I don't believe should be there. And we've got something that also has a story, even though it's this beautiful shapes and lines and everything else. It's some sort of airport. There are chairs there. There are the lounges. There's people waiting. There's somebody going somewhere. He's heading somewhere. There's not one thing in this that I don't love. That the way it's been positioned, the shade, the colour, the line. I think everybody needs to have another look. Somebody stood with their phone and managed to give us this, and let's reward them for it.
Awesome. So, good debate, Emily. I reckon you've got a solid right of reply.
Look, you're all right there. I am, the longer I look at it, I cannot fault it. Every line is needed in this image. The way this person has been, where they're positioned, where this photograph has been taken, there's so much symmetry, and that one person moving through that just takes us to a plane in that image. If this was not in black and white, it would be a lesser image. This is stunning. Yep, go up to gold with distinction, guys. I can't move, but you can.
Alrighty, judges, if you could please rescore. And we have a gold at 94. Congratulations to the photographer. That's a very, very solid gold, without a doubt. Awesome. Next image, please.
The title of this image is Nosy.
And we have a silver award at 80. All our judges are in very, very close scoring range. Thank you, Matthew. I'd appreciate a comment.
Oh, it's lovely. It's comical. It's funny. You can hear this camel coming towards us and making noise at us. The texture in his nose is fabulous. That even that little whiff of cloud there in the sky, it's a wonderful capture, and the photographer has been rewarded well for doing so.
Thank you so much. And we'll go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is The Inception.
This image has scored an 81 silver award, but we have a challenge. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vicky.
That's okay. I saw straight away that I was just up there and I had to challenge. I can see such a story of somebody's workspace, of their life, of their creations, possibly a self-portrait over here in the right. And he's just taking notes on what he's got to do, what he's got to do next. We've got the leftover of all the other creations he's made in the cloth on the table. I just think it shows the person themselves, where they work, where they live, and who they are. Just that nuance of having done that deserves a silver with distinction. So take another look, guys.
Thank you so much, Vicky. We really love it when judges challenge. Emily, what would you like to comment?
Yeah, this is a strong image. It's a beautiful environmental portrait. It was the sort of, I feel like the oversaturation in that left-hand side of the organic and water bottles and things that are going on over there. Great crop and all of those elements, but I just was just out of award range. Just if you could resolve that, the saturation, things like that for me, that'd be fab.
Lacey, you're also in support on silver?
Yeah, Emily actually just mentioned it. It was the left side and the bit of a color cast because of that saturation. There's also a bit of a color cast, and that was what was keeping me in that silver range too.
No worries. Vicky, you write a reply.
I can see that. And I think if we look at his work, which is off to the right, and then we look at his environment where everything's bright and colourful around him, he doesn't necessarily take what's surrounding him and put it in his work. He takes his emotion and what he believes. So that brightness sort of contrasts with his work to me. I don't think it distracts. I think it complements the other side. But yeah, I just think he belongs there. So.
Awesome. Judges, if you could please rescore. We have movement. We now have an 82 silver. Well done to the photographer. And thank you so much, Vicky, for that debate. We'll go to our next image, please.
The title of this image is Black Magic, also known as the elephant ear plant.
image has scored a 79, highly commended. Lacey, you'd like to make a comment?
Yeah, alocasias are my favorite, and I have a ton of them. And so I just wanted to congratulate the photographer for seeing such the beautiful intricate details of the veins in those plants. One thing that would elevate this is pulling some of that saturation out just a little bit. It's quite high that there's a bit of distortion that's coming through in that image now. And so that will bring this up for me for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lacey. We'll do a quick judge change. Thank you so much, Vicky. And we will welcome back Craig. Go to our next image, please.
This image is titled Final Approach.
And we have a very solid silver at 84 with all of our judges within a couple of points of each other. Fantastic. I would love a comment. Yeah, Matt. Oh, hang on. No, actually, Craig's put his hand up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Matthew. I am going to go to Craig because I do know his history. So he is the ultimate Birdman. Thank you, Craig.
I don't know about the ultimate, but I do love a pelican, and I think that this one has been captured at such a great moment. The outstretched, the trail of splash from the landing, the reflection is really gorgeous. And I think that the color palette is beautiful and serene, and you've captured this at a perfect time of day. It just is lacking in focus on the bird. And I know how challenging that must be on a phone, but if that sharpness was there, then this could have gone much higher, I think.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Matthew, do you want to say a super quick comment? I know you were keen.
A super quick comment. I'm seeing this two ways. It's a beautiful landscape picture that's been interrupted by a pelican, or it's a wonderful picture that the photographer has patiently sat there and waited because they've observed pelicans and they've gone back for the perfect morning and hoped that the perfect pelican would land, and they have. So that's why I've rewarded it where I have.
Classic. Thank you so much. We'll go to the next image, please, Mel.
The title of this image is Venescence.
Alrighty, so this image has scored a 87, very, very solid silver distinction. However, thank you, Craig. We have a challenge on 92. You're not out there on your own. We have another person in gold as well and a very large range of scores. So take it away.
Talk about a gut reaction to this. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but as a piece of abstract art, I think it's absolutely superb. I have not seen a photograph like this, so it ticks the unique box. It kind of feels uncomfortable, so it's giving me that emotional context as well. And I would love to have some more time with this and break it down. But this would be something, you know, you could see this in art galleries. You could see so many different uses for this as art pieces, and I absolutely love it.
Alrighty, so we've got a very large range of scores, and Frances, I am going to go to you as the lowest score, if that's okay.
Yes, and I'm so glad we talk about that because I'm really open to listen. I do enjoy the tonal range and I do enjoy the shapes mainly of the right-hand side of the image leading into the left-hand side, and that little darker patch there, the smaller patch in the middle. I can see a face there. I can see a dragon or something. But when it comes to the left-hand side of the image, I'm a bit lost there. And I wonder if, for me personally, it would have been a stronger image to crop it in a bit and forget about the left side of the image. But I'm really keen to listen.
There's lots of people that would like to comment. Emily, thanks.
I think we need the left-hand side for that discomfort. We kind of dance and move through, but we're jarred as we go and we get tangled, and that speaks all of that. I was shy. I was getting a little bit picky with some things. They just feel like there was some tonality disconnect in some bits, but I'm thinking the more I look at it, the more it looks like a bit of one of those 3D images where you're kind of meant to do that as well. So I'm moving.
Awesome. Matthew, you're in the gold range as well.
Yes, I'm in the gold range as well. And we've discussed a couple of times, yes, already, Emily, Frances, that left-hand side. I'm in two minds with it. We take it off and then we finish it at the 1, 2, 3, fourth ski jump there going up. That gives us a nice end, but then leaving it there also gives us somewhere to travel once we've gone up the 1, 2, 3, fourth ski jump or even fifth ski jump. That's leading further up the mountain. But I love the texture in it and the crunchiness of the image that's there in front of us. And again, we're looking at black and white images, and they're the ones that have resonated with most of us tonight. We've got a lovely white and a lovely deep black and all the tones in between. It's a fantastically captured image again on a device.
Awesome. Craig, write a reply.
It sounds like there's some support for this, so that's good. I agree that left-hand side is essential to this. We've talked about seeing dragons. We've talked about seeing faces. There's the visceral reaction that we get to this. I'm just sitting here and I wish I'd have been braver. I wish I'd have been braver, because I think that I can kind of read a story of mental health and a chaotic mind in this. The black lines and the white scruffy stuff, like it just feels like you're in the mind of this person who's created this piece. Like that white noise, I think just forget that this is a photograph that you're looking at here, and think of it as an absolutely stunning, unique piece of art, and score it with your full heart. And I think I've been shy, guys. I think 92 is not enough for this. So we need to take this higher than that.
Alrighty, judges, before you rescore, I am going to call a panel mentors challenge. And what that therefore means is that every judge will get a chance to rescore. But before we do that, I would like to hear from Lacey, because she was absolutely devastated. She wasn't able to contribute to this debate. So Lacey, I'm going to give you the opportunity for a quick comment, which is permitted in the panel mentors challenge. Go for it, Lacey.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I was like jumping out of my seat. Just really quickly, I just want to add to this that it feels very puppet-ish, like puppeteer, right? Like you're pulling on the heartstrings, you're pulling on the puppets, you're creating very intentional what the next move is. And yeah, I'm right there with you, Craig. I don't think it's enough the more I sit with this.
Well, there you are. Everyone can now rescore, including yourself, Craig. And we have a mammoth gold distinction at 95. Goodness gracious me, that is a very, very solid score. Congratulations to the photographer and well done to all of our judges. Everybody moved, everybody really got on board, and I'm just so impressed with working as a team, but also a stellar image. And we'll go to our next one, please. Thank you, Mel.
The title of this image is The Last Memory Keeper.
And this image has scored a highly commended at 79. Well done to the photographer. Judges are all very, very close in their scoring range. Oh, Frances, we have a challenge at 82. Fantastic. Frances is in the silver award range. Take it away, Frances.
Yes, I just like you just have another look at it. It's such an emotional moment of this person looking through his life really in the album in the photo album. He's looking at what I can see on the left hand side there. It looks like a school portrait with lots of little heads, and then next of it is a single person. And I just found this is just and the folder, the way the album is created with that plasticky cover, it's just it's just priceless the way he looks. And then his jumper or his blanket over his knees, it might be a cold morning, he's just keeping warm. And then the plants in the window, it doesn't look like it's a very warm place where he is, but the plants get that last sunlight coming through the window. It's just all composed so well. And yeah, just have another look. We're only 1 point away from the silver, and I think this deserves a silver just for its emotional impact.
Thanks, Frances. Craig, you're keen to make a comment.
Yeah, I see the story. I feel the story. I'm right there with you in that, Francis. But I just feel like we can't connect with the subject here because of the photographer's choice of camera angle. And if we were down there with him and not looking down on him, I think this would resonate much more, and we would be able to connect more with them.
You do have support. Lacey, you're also in the silver range.
Yeah, I think we have a really strong story that is going on here. And yeah, I've scored it silver for all the same reasons. So I don't really have too much to add.
Awesome. Alrighty. Right reply. Thanks, Frances.
Yes, I see what you mean. The angle that it was taken, I quite enjoy. We don't connect with the subject because that's absolutely fine. We're looking at him through a window. We don't need to connect with him because he is connecting with his past life. But as he looks at all these beautiful photos from his life, so there's no need. I don't know this person, and I don't feel I have to know this person. I nearly feel like I open a window and I see someone reflecting through his life. So I'm absolutely happy with the camera angle view. So yes, I think 1 point, guys. Just reconsider. We're nearly there for the silver range.
Thank you so much, Frances. Judges, if you could please rescore. And we now have a silver award at 80. Thank you so much to all of our fantastic judges for that wonderful debate. And believe it or not, that is the last image in this category. So well done to all of the entrants. Well done on getting your image into the finals. It was some incredible work, and you should all be very, very proud of yourselves. A huge thank you to our judges. You all brought so much heart and soul and effort into the judging. we had everything from pew-pew-pews to tears. And I tell you what, it takes a lot to put yourselves out there like that. So thank you so much. Craig Turner-Bullock, Emily Black, Francis Suter, Lacey Barrett, Matthew Vasilescu, and Vicky McKay, we really appreciate your time and efforts. And thank you to our audience for tuning in and joining us to celebrate this excellence in photography. Don't forget to tune into our awards ceremony on Thursday, the 13th of August for the announcement. And we have our documentary category as our next one up. So thank you to everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Wow, photographing the way I do, but with my colors, this will change everything.
I got to see each frame, each position of its wing, and they're so beautiful that I have never seen before.
Being able to move quickly and working at my brain's pace and getting those shots in the moment. Having this camera allows you to go out and create the way you want to create.
Until you use it, you cannot even imagine what you have missed.
It's something I've never seen before in my entire life. It's something totally different.
Nikon Z6 III. Outperform.
Introducing ISO Color Edge. Precision is essential for any professional working with images. Whether you're an artist, a retoucher, or a visual effects specialist, you need to know that what you see at the start of a project is precisely what you'll get at the end. Color Edge monitors give consistent, reliable accuracy that guarantee no surprises within your color workflow. So what you see in real life is what you see on screen, and what you see on screen is what you see in real life. That's precisely why professionals all over the world trust ISO Color Edge for their image creation. ISO Color Edge. Discover living, breathing color.
I'm Mark Rizzito from the Professional Photography Business Network.
A vibrant community from all around the world who's here to supercharge your business growth.
This is not an expensive one-size-fits-all course.
PPBN is a network,
An online educational platform with training and resources to suit everyone.
from those just starting out to the seasoned pros.
You can tailor your journey to suit your individual business needs and challenges, all at your own pace.
And there's new content added every week. But success is only part of the experience.
To us, community is super important as we all know business can be lonely.
So join us today. PPBN is your unfair advantage. Let's do this.